Bonsoir à tous. Bonsoir. I hope you're doing great, that you're staying safe, and you're probably at home at the moment. If you're not, thank you for your work. You're probably a nurse, a doctor, someone working in the essential jobs that we need to keep the society running. So thank you very much. And if you have the time to watch and it helps, I am delighted to help you. So we still have a little bit of the fairy tale to read. I cut that in 3 parts so we don't have massive paragraphs to go through. This is what we're going to aim for today. Then tomorrow we have another one, and then we have the ending. And after that, I'm going to reread all the fairy tale for you so we can read together all at once, and we're going to have fun because you will have improved so much. I am going to see how that takes the reading. Maybe we'll do it in 2 parts, but that is for later. For now, we're going to work on this together. So take your pen. That's my stylo here. Your notebook, I hope you have it. And a good cup of coffee, a tea, maybe if it's breakfast for you, wine, any drinks that you would like to have, water, juice maybe. I have some water in my teacup because I just had some tea and I needed something else for now. So we saw yesterday that the queen thought that her children were dead, but they were not because the cook had saved them, and he told the princess that they were safe, okay? Elle les croyait morts depuis qu'on les avait enlevés sans rien lui dire. So I told you yesterday that she was going to know that they were okay. And let's see what the cook says. 1, 2, and 3. Non, non, madame, lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel tout attendri. Vous ne mourrez point et vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. Mais ce sera chez moi où je les ai cachés et je tromperai encore la reine en lui faisant manger une jeune biche en votre place. Il la mena aussitôt à sa chambre où, la laissant embrasser ses enfants et pleurer avec eux, il alla accommoder une biche que la reine mangea à son souper, avec le même appétit que si c'eût été la jeune reine. Elle était bien contente de sa cruauté et elle se préparait à dire au roi, à son retour, que les loups enragés avaient mangé la reine, sa femme, et ses 2 enfants. This is really evil. So let's work on the first 2 lines together. Are you ready to read it again? Okay. Breathe in, breathe out, and let's read 1, 2, 3. Non, non, madame, lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel tout attendri. Vous ne mourrez point et vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. So here, no, no, madame, lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel, told her the poor butler, tout attendri. Attendri, attendri. It is when you tendre is tender. Tendre is tender. This applies to meat, like us, or any kind of food that is tender. And you have tendre that means tender as for people, for example. Cet enfant est très tendre. Il aime beaucoup faire des câlin. This child is very sweet, tender, very soft, in a positive way, obviously. Il aime beaucoup. He likes to do hugs, and câlin is all this kind of hugging people and just being with them, and beaucoup is a lot, so he really likes it. I never found a good translation for câlin. Cuddle is good. Un câlin is a cuddle. And attendri is when you make someone tender. Okay. Oh, and also it's to put something in it, to make something tense, tendre as well. But this is not what we're talking about. This is the adjective. Adjective. Attendri, it is, I took the notes, it is touched or moved. Okay, attendri is touched or moved. So you have this idea of someone who was being strong and became tender. Vous ne mourrez point. You won't die. And something that I think it was Jack mentioned in the chat. Jack is a student that is in several, maybe all of my courses, a very, very good one. Here, because you have dialogues, you have new tenses. And he mentioned the future, I think it was yesterday. So here you have other tenses because you have a dialogue. They're speaking with present and future and this kind of tenses that you don't have in the written part. So here it is the written part, it is the narrative part. So it is du passé simple that we saw many, many times before. Lui répondit is le passé simple of répondre. But here, vous ne mourrez point is you won't die. So mourrez, it is le futur simple. Futur simple de mourir. Okay. And you have the future is notified here with les deux R. Vous ne mourrez point, you won't die, so in the future. Et vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. So here it is completely old-fashioned French. This ne pas laisser, we don't use this anymore. Vous ne laisserez pas is I don't even know because it doesn't mean anything now. Laisser. I would say to miss. No. There isn't even a good translation on word reference because this is so old that even now we would not see it anymore. So it is more manquer, I would say. You won't miss seeing your children again. No, you won't, because she thought that the only way for her to see her children was to die because they were dead as well. But they're not dead. So this is what he's implying, is that you won't die and you're not going to miss seeing your children again because they are actually alive. Okay? Revoir is to see again. It can be, for example, watching a movie again or seeing your family after confinement, okay? So revoir is both, is to see again. Vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. And then he tells her why, because that's very surprising. Mais ce sera chez moi où je les ai cachés et je tromperai encore la reine en lui faisant manger une jeune biche en votre place. Oh, and here I forgot to check the liaison. Lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel tout attendri. Okay, so let's read that again. Non, non, madame, lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel tout attendri. Here we have une liaison. Tout attendri. Vous ne mourrez point. Here it is very subtle, but I say mourrez. Okay, it is mourrez. Vous ne mourrez point. So the R is really emphasized here in order to say that it is the future. Okay? Because if you don't, it is the present. Okay? Mourrez. Présent. For example, something that is a bit positive, it's not about death. Vous mourrez de faim. You're starving. It can be starving as really dying from starvation, but it can also be like I'm really hungry, but I'm going to be fed. Vous mourrez de faim is le présent, and vous mourrez. What can we say? It's awful to predict death. Vous mourrez d'envie de voir le prochain James Bond. Because I'm really looking forward to it. I can't resist James Bond, even though it's very sexist and all, but just I love it. So, vous mourrez d'envie de voir le prochain James Bond. As soon as you see the trailer for the movie, you will die. You really, really, really want to see it. Okay, so here, vous mourrez, we have deux R because it is the future, but here it is le présent. Okay, so when I say it, I say mourrez, mourrez. And this can make a difference in your French because the meanings are very different. Vous ne mourrez point, so pas, point we remember is pas. Et vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. And here we have une liaison as well, vos enfants. So let's read this again with la liaison. Non, non, madame, lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel tout attendri. Vous ne mourrez point et vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. Ok. Mais ce sera chez moi où je les ai cachés et je tromperai encore la reine en lui faisant manger une jeune biche en votre place. Mais ce sera chez moi, but that will be at my home, my place. Ok, chez moi, chez toi, chez lui. Chez la reine, chez Jeanne. Okay, so you can put many things. Chez it at someone's place, and chez is used everywhere. You don't say the Z at the end. It is a chez like that. Okay, chez. Chez moi, chez toi, chez lui, chez la reine, chez Jeanne. And you can also use that for brands. Okay, chez Ikea. Ce sera chez moi où je les ai cachés, where I hid them. Où je les ai cachés. Remember here, you have caché avec un S because it is the children that you're talking about. There is more than one child. It is masculine because there is a son and a daughter. And le complément is before the verb. J'ai caché les enfants, you don't have un S, but je les ai cachés, you have one. Okay. Et je tromperai encore la reine, and I will cheat the queen again. Tromper, remember, it is to cheat as in a trick, but it can be cheating on someone as well, so you have to be careful with how you use that. En lui faisant manger, by making her eat. Une jeune biche en votre place. Une biche, do you know what animal that is? It is a doe. And by the way, we don't say en votre place anymore. We would say à votre place. À votre place. So you can use that again like literally. Je suis assis à votre place. I'm sitting in your seat. Or for example, à votre place, j'apprendrai le français pendant le confinement. which I told a few students yesterday. I was doing a welcome session with a few students. Don't let anyone shame you because you're not achieving anything during confinement. This is especially true for skills such as learning languages, even exercising. I've seen that a lot online, people trying to say, become fluent in French during confinement. Just don't, okay? Just take it your way. Your way is the best way. If it's 5 minutes a day, 0 minutes a day, 5 minutes a week, it is okay. Okay, it is a very difficult and tricky time. And even if some people like me are at home, we have, in theory, lots of time, but in real life we don't have any, or we are overwhelmed by many other things. Just enjoy learning a skill if you want to, on your own terms, okay? And don't feel guilty because you're not kind of doing enough. This is something that I've been doing since the beginning of confinement on Comme une Française for all my students. I'm teaching you if you want to, but if you don't feel guilty because you should be doing something. And when you're following people who are telling you that, just don't follow them or tell them this is not what I'm looking for, okay? So yeah, that's very important in terms of mindset. In France, we're in for another month. And yeah, in theory, I could be doing lots of things, but my head is overwhelmed by other things. So even practicing the piano is something I'm not doing. I'm just doing it once a week with my teacher, but my mind is not into practice at the moment. Maybe it will at some point later, but I don't want anyone shaming my own students, so don't let yourself be ashamed because you're not achieving anything. It's really just for fun. So that was the pep talk of the day. It's really your own terms at the moment. These are not normal times. It's not a holiday at all. So what is going to happen? So let's read these two lines again together. Okay? 1, 2, and 3. Mais ce sera chez moi où je les ai cachés et je tromperai encore la reine en lui faisant manger une jeune biche en votre place. So here again, we have un futur of être, we have un futur of tromper, we have un passé composé, and that is it for the main verbs. So you see, these are tenses that we didn't see before. Well, we saw, but not much, okay, because these are the tenses of the dialogues. Okay, so they're different from the tenses of the narrative. Manger une jeune biche. Here you could put one, okay? Manger une jeune biche. You could definitely put une liaison here. I'm going to add it, but you can not put it as I read at the beginning. It's really up to you. Okay, so so far so good. They're safe. Let's read that together. 1, 2, and 3. Il la mena aussitôt à sa chambre, où la laissant embrasser ses enfants. Here we have une liaison, and here we have one as well. Et pleurer avec eux, il alla accommoder une biche. Here we have one. Que la reine mangea à son souper avec le même appétit que si c'eût été la jeune reine. Here we have one. Il la mena aussitôt dans sa chambre. Aussitôt is immediately, right away. I think we saw this one already. Right away, immediately. Okay. Aussitôt. Il la mena, mener is to lead, so he brought her to his room. Aussitôt à sa chambre, et I'm checking my notes, où la laissant embrasser ses enfants, where leaving her to kiss her children, embrasser, it is the verb for to kiss, okay? Not saying the other, but it's not the other. But also embrasser, as in embracing an idea as well. So it is prendre dans ses bras. It works as well because literally, embrasser, you have the noun for arms here. Un bras is an arm. So it is take in your arms, prendre dans ses bras. But now it is to kiss. But depending on the context, it might be prendre dans ses bras. Ou la laissant embrasser ses enfants, her children, et pleurer avec eux, and cry with them. Also here, remember, où is the place? Où est le lieu? Okay, and où is le choix? Où is where, and où is or. And they're pronounced in exactly the same way. Et pleurer avec eux, pleurer is to cry. Because she was so happy to see them again alive, and maybe the children were afraid and they didn't know what happened to their mom. Il alla accommoder une biche. Accommoder. If you are a cook, you might know this verb from the cookbooks. Okay, accommoder is to prepare, and it has deux M. And I wrote it in my notebook. I wrote deux M. Préparer. Préparer un aliment. Okay, so it is about, here you assume it's a dough, so it's about cutting the meat, preparing the sauce, making sure it's going to be good. It's all about that. But it's not something that we use a lot anymore unless you are a chef, a cook, someone who's really into food. For example, the way you could use it in everyday life is j'aime beaucoup comment tu as accommodé la courge. How do you say courge in English? Marrow squash. Squash. Yeah, it's also a cute way to say idiot. Quelle courge? J'aime beaucoup comment tu as accommodé la courge. So, for example, if someone cooks a squash for you and you think it's really good, you can say that. It is about the spices that they put in it, maybe onions or garlic or anything. Like, it is about the flavors added to the squash or the flavors that are in the squash. Okay, so this is a good compliment, and it's really good. I mean, if you say that, I would be impressed. J'aime beaucoup comment tu as accommodé la courge, and I'm thinking about that because actually yesterday I made some squash and it was really good with some dried tomatoes and onions. It was really, really good. So la biche is the dough. Did we see that? Yes. Okay. Que la reine mangea à son souper, that the queen ate at supper, avec le même appétit, with the same appetite, que si c'eût été la jeune reine, that if it had been the young queen. So here you have, I think, un conditionnel. Can we check that? This is my guess. C'eût été. And yeah, okay, because it is du conditionnel. So it is du conditionnel passé deuxième forme. So for all the grammar conjugation nerds out there, UTT is the conditionnel passé. And bigger, it is 13. UTT, conditionnel passé deuxième forme, but again, it is du conditionnel passé, almost never used, and my son is having his lunch, and you can hear his dad saying, ah, but he loves eating, so it's fine. UTT, conditionnel passé deuxième forme. So here, conditionnel, you can focus on that if you're maybe B1, B2. Passé if you're C2, and deuxième forme if you are doing a PhD in French, but I would never use that. I knew it was inconditionnel because you have the C, which starts with a condition. Okay, so yeah, I think it is. If I'm wrong, you can correct me if you have a PhD in French literature. But if it's just a guess, I'm going to guess that. Okay, so let's read this one again. Il la mena aussitôt à sa chambre. Aussitôt à sa chambre, aussitôt à sa chambre. Non, no liaison. À sa chambre, où la laissant embrasser ses enfants et pleurer avec eux, il alla accommoder une biche que la reine mangea à son souper avec le même appétit que si c'eût été la jeune reine. So the evil queen is eating for supper something that she assumes is the young queen, Sleeping Beauty, and she's eating with the same appetite as if it was actually the queen, but it is a doe. Let's read that together. Elle était bien contente de sa cruauté et elle se préparait à dire au roi, so here we have one, à son retour, que les loups enragés avaient mangé la reine, sa femme, et ses 2 enfants. That's evil. Elle était bien contente. She was quite happy de sa cruauté. La cruauté is cruelty. That is pretty straightforward. Et elle se préparait à dire au roi, and she was preparing herself to say to the king, à son retour, when he would be back. Le retour is the idea to be back. Que les loups enragés. So la rage is rabies. Okay, so it became. This is where it comes from. There is a little someone coming in the room. So enragé is to have rabies or to have rage or fury. Coucou. Que les loups enragés. So here we can assume that they were angry, they have fury rather than they have rabies. Okay. Avait mangé la reine, had eaten the queen, his wife, et ses 2 enfants, and his 2 children. Wow, she's really evil. I'm not sure it's going to go well for her in the upcoming days. Or maybe it will, and she's going to win the fairy tale. So let's read the last sentence together. Elle était bien contente de sa cruauté, et elle se préparait à dire au roi à son retour que les loups enragés avaient mangé la reine, sa femme, et ses 2 enfants. Okay, so let's read everything we saw today again, just as a recap. Ready? Okay, breathe in, breathe out, and let's read together. Ooh, no, I don't want that. I want that. Non, non, madame, lui répondit le pauvre maître d'hôtel tout attendri, vous ne mourrez point et vous ne laisserez pas d'aller revoir vos enfants. Mais ce sera chez moi où je les ai cachés et je tromperai encore la reine en lui faisant manger une jeune biche en votre place. Il la mena aussitôt à sa chambre. Let's put une liaison here. I'm feeling generous with the liaison today. Il la mena aussitôt à sa chambre où, la laissant embrasser ses enfants et pleurer avec eux. Let's put another one here. Yeah. Il alla accommoder une biche que la reine mangea à son souper avec le même appétit que si c'eût été la jeune reine. Elle était bien contente de sa cruauté, et elle se préparait à dire au roi à son retour que les loups enragés avaient mangé la reine sa femme et ses 2 enfants. Ah, that's really frightening. So let's see who wins the day. Is it the evil queen or is it someone else? I read it, so now I know, but I'm not going to tell you. So we have 2 more days to finish the fairy tale. Then we're going to read it all together again once without the comments because you know everything for now. And I wish you une bonne soirée, une bonne nuit, maybe une bonne journée if you have all the day ahead of you because you're west of me. Or maybe it's the morning for you because you're east, very east in Australia, New Zealand, for example, Japan. And let me know what you learned today in the comments. If you could put a thumb up, that would be very nice. And it was wonderful to be with you again tonight. I look forward to that every night. It's like a daily meetup at a bar, a cafe. Yeah, a cafe. That would be fun. Together. Yeah, so bonne journée, bonne soirée, maybe bonne nuit, and I will see you tomorrow at 7:15 p.m. if you want to attend live. À demain. Salut!